Okay, so this is Toppl enrichment making. I had an older video but I decided to do an updated one because it's been a couple years since I've done an updated one. So we're going to talk a little bit about enrichment Toppl making. This is one video made for all the dogs coming into training, so it is not specific to your dog if you're seeing this, because I kind of make them all the same with some exceptions depending on what's going on. So I use the magic bullet grinder, but you do not have to do that. The first thing you're gonna do is just get your dog's food, their kibble, and soak it in water or bone broth, and that's the first step. I like to grind it up because it allows me to pack these a little bit heavier. I'm going to send you a link for these to be able to buy them. This is a size large, and this is my most common size that I use for probably 90% of the dogs in training. This holds 1 cup of food. If you wanted to hold something larger, this is a 2 cup. It's been chewed on, but this is a 2 cup. So it is not necessary, however, to do the 2 cup. I like this to be an add-on or take the place of a meal. I will often give these to dogs who like them. And if you didn't get this, obviously if you didn't get it, you're not seeing it, but I test to make sure the dogs actually like these before I send you guys this video. I don't want you to buy stuff that your dog isn't going to use. Makes no sense. I want you to purchase things that are going to be useful for you. So what I do with these is I fill them up and I freeze them, and I often give them as a meal replacement, or I will give them as an extra thing if we've been hiking or doing something. They're great for rainy days, and I do feed these in the crate. And so it just, like I said, can serve as a meal. So I just grind it up and I pack it as tight as I can. And again, you don't have to grind it. You can just use your dog's moistened wet kibble, or if your dog likes wet food, you could do wet food as well. There's a lot of things you can do with these to get creative, but whenever I do anything for my students, I want to do it and make it so you actually are going to do it. If I make it too complicated, you guys aren't going to do it because you're working, you got things to do. So you can see this is all nice and packed in. So what I will do is I will top it with pumpkin. You want to make sure you're getting pure pumpkin, not pumpkin with sugar in it. So it's got to be pure pumpkin. Pumpkin is great for digestion. It can help with runny stools, stuff like that. I just plop that on the top. Now, on a side note, if you have a white dog, pumpkin stains. So with dogs like that, I'll use cream cheese or I'll use Greek yogurt and put that on the top. When I send this, I will also be sending you some links to some other recipes that other people have. You can get really creative. People get super creative with these. Again, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible for you, so you'll do it. These are chicken feet. I buy these on Amazon. I buy a huge box of them because obviously I'm going through them. And because I do these, my dogs have never had to have their teeth cleaned. So these work as a natural toothbrush. The dogs love them. I just shove it down into the Toppl. And I'll even use a little bit of peanut butter. If I have a dog that isn't 100% sure what to do with these, like they're not sure exactly how to eat them, and I'll do a little bit of peanut butter on them. Like I said, you can get super creative. And then I might add like a frozen strawberry or some blueberries. And then I put them in the freezer. So for me, every dog always has, if they're a Toppl dog and they'll eat them, always has 2 Toppls in my freezer. I just get a freezer bag and I use the same bag over and over again for the same dog. So I'm not going through a ton of bags, wasting a ton of money. And then I just freeze them. And again, my most common way of using these are in the morning. So I get up, I take all the dog's potty, I grab their Toppl, I toss it in their crate. They can snack on it while I'm getting everybody else out and getting them ready. Again, these hold 1 cup. And as active as I am, it doesn't seem to be affecting anybody's weight or making them fatter. So this is a great option. Also, rainy days, they're stuck inside. This fulfills a lot of different genetic desires that dogs have. Another thing that these do, which I don't have a small one because I have it used for another dog, is I can use the big one. So you can also turn these into, if you buy an extra large one, you can turn them into a dispenser. So you push them together and they roll them around. You could put just straight kibble in these. And as they roll them around, kibbles fall out. So it turns into kind of a plaything that you can do in the garage or outside to encourage foraging. And again, checking some genetic boxes. So that's an option as well. But these are fantastic. I recommend them to all my students if the dogs like them. Again, I won't send this to you you're not going to see it if the dog doesn't like it. It also has some little fingers in here, which makes it hard for the dogs to get in there. So that's one great way of doing it. And once again, if you have a dog that doesn't like pumpkin, you might have to get creative. You can use cream cheese. You can use peanut butter. I just make sure it doesn't have xylitol in it. I usually just buy these because it's easier for me. You can use Greek yogurt. You can use cottage cheese. There's a variety of things that you can use. But for the base, I keep it simple. I just use their dog food, their kibble, wet it down, bone broth, let it sit, grind it up so I can pack it in there. But you don't even have to grind it. You can just use the wet and kibble and pack it in there. So when you receive this, you're going to receive a couple links. The links to buy these Toppls if you want to purchase some. Again, these are a large. And some links to some other recipes because, like I said, people get really creative with these. Great meal replacements. I mean, ditch the bowl. It's really fun to find other ways to feed your dog to also challenge their mind and tire them out. Let me know if you have any questions.